Well, it's afternoon already, but I'm about to make some chicken pastry, and I thought I'd bring you along for the ride. So what we have here are my ingredients. So I have chicken thighs, and just in case I need them, I also have wings. Not sure I'm going to use all of that. It's just the two of us. I'm seasoning with Italian herbs, a little parsley, that's my garlic powder, bay leaf, coarse black pepper, and seasoned salt. I'm using Annie's old-fashioned flat dumplings because I don't make my own. And so I'm about to get started. Excuse the nails, I'm sorry. I'm about to get started putting this together. So, let's do it. So I have my saucepan here. The first steps, of course, is going to be washing and cleaning the chicken. Oh, I forgot to mention another couple of ingredients, and that's celery and carrots. I'm supposed to have fresh carrots for this, but I don't. So I'm going to open a can of carrots because I don't even have frozen ones, bad girl, and pour the juice off. But they're supposed to cook down anyway so that you don't even know they're there. It's for flavoring. So once I get the chicken washed, and I will do that step. I'm leaving, if you notice, the skin on to cook it, to boil it at first, and then once it's all done, and I take the chicken out of the pot to remove the bone, and I will probably remove most of the skin too. I leave it on for flavor, and then I remove it because you don't want greasy or fatty dumplings. I am using dark meat, once again, because that's where the flavor is. And I am going to, I decided to throw a couple of the wings in because that's white meat. And that'll give you a lot of the texture that you want in this dish. I'm not going to use them all. I think it'll be too much. You have to be really careful nowadays with our food supply and make sure that you clean it well and inspect it well before you feed it to yourself and your family. It's getting rough out here to buy groceries. The thighs were organic, but when I was in the store yesterday, they didn't have any organic wings, so I had to get the regular ones. I don't know if we're any safer with organic, but I like the idea of it, the animal not growing in a factory of some sort. Hopefully it's safer, but if not, it makes me feel like it is in my headspace. Because it's the only option. I mean, you really can't grow your own, at least not where I live. And I wouldn't know how to begin doing that anyway. I don't know that I'd make a good farm girl. Real farm girl. I could live in a really pretty farmhouse. I don't know if I'd be much help as a farm hand. I say that, but I guess I could learn, huh? They always leave so much stuff on wings, all the feathers. Do you remember, or did your mom used to singe her chicken over a gas stove? I don't have one, I have an electric stove. But if your mom used to make sure she got all the wings, the feathers and everything off the chicken, she would run it through the fire to what she calls singe it. My mom used to do that. Okay. So now that the chicken is washed, we're going to fill this Dutch oven with water. We're going to add bay leaves and all of the seasoning so that the broth is nice and seasoned, because of course we're going to use that later. I do have some extra chicken stock just in case I don't have enough broth. I like my chicken and dumplings a little thick, but I also like that juice floating around in there. It makes it really good. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside because I really want to, I'll deal with those later, pack them up for freezing. I really want to get the celery cut up. And for that amount, I'm only going to use 1 stalk of celery, I believe. I think that'll be enough. We'll see how it looks. Try not to be too messy with this chicken. You know, you have to be careful when you set that stuff. And since I'm saying that, let me wash my hands. I don't have to use that. Let's just cut it up in here. Yes, I could pull my cutting board down, but for 1 stalk of celery, I don't see the reason to do that. I'm going to saute these, and I'm even going to heat the canned carrots once I pour all the juice off, because these are supposed to like disappear in the recipe that I'm using. Some people I notice have the carrots and the celery in there, and that's cool. I mean, it's still good. But I'm using a recipe that I found online. I'll have to give credit from whence it came. And I don't have it with me because I never cook totally by recipe. I read the recipe, get the idea, and then I kind of do my own thing. Well, most cooks are like that, right? Rarely do I follow a recipe to the T. I think I'm rendering this pie pan useless with this knife. But the holidays are coming, and there'll be others. Time to start thinking about Christmas dinner. I'm thinking gumbo. I'm thinking not doing the traditional. I'm thinking it. I'm not sure. Gumbo is it's an expensive dish, and it takes a little time. So that's what's on my mind now. It depends on how hard they work me between now and Christmas. Uh-oh. Do I not have carrots? I thought sure I had a can. So if we're making this up, as we go, I thought I was going to have to go without the carrots, but of course I have some. Nothing like that ever frightens me. I wasn't going to like run to the store or anything to get carrots if I didn't have them. Like I said, I kind of cook to the beat of my own drummer. Very smart. All the juices out. I'm going to saute these in butter. No, I think not. I think I'm going to use olive oil. We really just want the carrots to heat because they're done. But we do want them to cook down. Like I said, disappear. Okay, so let me get my skillet. And put you so that you can watch this as well. Can you see that? There you go. Let's take it a little higher. I think that's it. And we're going to put some olive oil in the pan. I have a friend who has asked for my recipe for my homemade vegetable soup that I made last week. So I need to do, I don't know if I'm going to video that because I'm not going to make any again right away this time, but I'm going to do a blog for her. So be on the lookout for that as well. I am going to add a little butter for flavor. I just couldn't do it without it. Forgive me. But if you're not into cooking with butter and that sort of thing, leave that out. It's optional. So when the butter melts a little, I'm going to add my carrots and my celery. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to peel an onion, a whole onion, and I'm not going to cut it up. I'm going to add it to the pot with the chicken and just let the flavor get in there. I know I didn't add that in my first ingredients, but like I said, I kind of cook by the beat of a different drummer, and I just thought it's all about the flavor. The onions don't have to be in it, actually. And it won't be, because if I leave it whole, it'll be easy just to take it out once the chicken's done. And that's the reason I'm not sauteing it down with the carrots and celery. How's the butter coming? You guys are keeping an eye on that for me while I peel this onion really quick. And as you can see, I'm leaving it whole, and I'm just sticking it in the pot. Okay, so it's melting down. Let's saute. Yeah, I kind of think I ruined that for anything wet, but it's still decent for toast. I don't have a toaster. I don't like them. I make my toast the old-fashioned way in the oven, like my grandma used to do. But I am kind of in the mood for a toaster oven, not a toaster, because you can do so many different things with that. So I'm going to wash the wings, that was hard to say, while I'm waiting for my celery and carrots to start melting down. See a pretty big chunk in there. Oh, it was actually cut. So the leftover wings I'm going to put in a freezer bag. I am going to season them in the bag. Then I will write on the bag what they are and the date and that they're seasoned and put them in the freezer. While you're watching that, you can also watch this. If you can see it, I see it here. Can you see it? Here. I'm going to add a little seasoned salt to the bag, the wings, and I'll just talk you through the rest. And I'm going to add a little garlic powder to the bag, some black pepper, and just a few shakes of parsley. And I'm going to seal the bag and shake it all around. I had to get my hand in there and make sure that it was evenly, seasonings were evenly spread around. That's the noise you hear. I love cooking with butter. It smells so good. And I will put this bag in it, so it's double bagged. Trying to avoid freezer burners. And I turned it upside down so that the seal for the first bag would be on the bottom. You know, I thought these carrots would cook a little faster because they were canned, but I guess it's about the same. Down a little bit. It's popping. And these are now ready to go into the freezer for another dish. I want to switch eyes. Put the chicken and the onion over here. Celery and stuff, because I want you to be able to see what I'm adding. And I'm not measuring, so I'm adding the seasoned salt. And I'm going to have to watch this carefully because this is not my thickest pot, although it is one of the larger ones. Get a clean one. Now I'm adding a little of the Italian herbs. A little of the parsley. Garlic powder. This top wants to be contrary. There. If you don't have patience, you really can't cook, can you? I mean, something always is contrary in the kitchen. And then I'm going to add the bay leaves. And we're going to give this a little stir. And remember, the onion is in there. And of course, the black pepper. And I hate a messy stove, so we're going to wipe down. Put our lid on, let the steam out so that it doesn't boil over since it's so close to the top. And I'm going to start cooking it on about 4 on my stove. I don't have, well, I do have high and medium, but it's in between. High and medium is 4. And while that's starting to simmer, and I've wiped the stove down, it's time to do some dishes. The carrots and the celery are still doing their thing. I'll move you over here. You're just looking at a pot lid, as you can see. And so now I'm going to start cleaning up the kitchen. To dispose of all the chicken mess, I will use a grocery store bag. Celery in the fridge. I thought there was another. I know there was another. Maybe I tossed it already. Guys, you know, my garbage disposal stopped working right here at the holidays. Not good. But I'll get through the holidays and then have someone come out. Hopefully they can repair it and I won't need a new one. It's not that old. But I cannot find that reset button. I know there's one in there somewhere. I noticed online that a lot of my fellow bloggers don't know dishwater anymore. They kind of wash their dishes singly. I guess I'm a little old-fashioned. I still like a sink full of nice soapy water. What's that? I'm out of peppermint soap. So we're going to try rosemary. And I should have some peppermint in my next order from Grove Collaborative. I love this Mrs. Myers stuff. There'll be a link below if you're interested. And you also get a gift if you use my link when ordering Mrs. Myers. It's all natural. And it does a bang-up job. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up my kitchen and let everything simmer. And what do you say we meet back here when it's time for next steps? And that would be removing the chicken, deboning it, and getting it ready for the dumplings. Do remember that I am going to add these sauteed carrots and celery to the stock pot once it's paper thin. Paper thin is my goal for that. Okay? Look what I have, another pickle jar that we emptied last night. My grandson was here, he loves pickles. So that we'll probably see that in a DIY sometime soon. But for right now, I'm going to let you go. And I'm going to get this pot going, and I will come back when we're into next steps. See you in a bit. Okay, so we're back with the chicken and dumplings. I have taken the, let's turn this light on the oven, maybe that'll help get the shadow a little bit. I have taken the chicken out the bone and I let it sit to the side for about 15 minutes, and I put the dumplings in and let them cook for that, that 15 minutes, and then I added the chicken back. I also chopped up a couple of boiled eggs. That was also in the recipe, and I don't mind them at all because I love boiled eggs. And here we are, and it's simmering down. The pot's a little full. I'm afraid to put the lid on. As you can see, I thought the carrots were going to melt down, but they're showing, and that's okay with me. Yeah, it just looks really, really tasty. Here's all the chicken, and I used a whole pack of the dumplings. So this is a pretty good sized pot. I'm hoping that if we don't eat it all with Christmas coming week after next, I can freeze it. I don't know how chicken and dumplings freeze. I guess I have to look that up because it ended up being quite a bit. But that's how tasty it looks right now. It's simmering down. This is the final step, and then after this I will bring you back and show you how it is once it's plated. I think I'm going to make field peas to go with this. What do you think? What do you have with your chicken and dumplings on the side as a vegetable? I know the carrots are in there, but I also like a green vegetable. So I think I'm going to make that and maybe some cornbread. Let me know what you think. And until I come back and have it plated, that's how they turned out. All you missed was me taking the chicken out of the pot, taking it out the bone. I did take the bay leaves and the onion out of the stock. And the stock had cooked down a little bit. I don't want to miss a step because I don't want you to miss one. So I did add a little chicken stock, but not very much. It seasoned really well with the seasonings that we used earlier. So I didn't want it to be too salty. So I just used a little just to give the pot a little more oomph. I like to have the juice in mine. I don't like it to be all stiff. So that's why I added a little chicken stock. And when I say a little, you know, I don't measure, but maybe, let's see, about that much in a cup of chicken stock is what I added. Okay, so I'll come back once it's plated and let you see what it all looks like. See you in a bit. Okay, friends, This is how it turned out. It's plated. It's juicy. Of course, the chicken is tender. I think if I would change anything in this recipe, I would cut the dumplings up, maybe cut them in thirds before I put them in the pot, and then I probably would not have used a whole pack. But other than that, this dish is just as yummy as it looks. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe. I enjoyed bringing it to you. It was my first time trying this, so I'm happy I could try it out with you. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to wish you a Merry Christmas. I'm going to ask that you subscribe, like, and share the video. And as always, I leave you in your element. Bye bye for now.